discussed and views have been given, why push something that clearly is actually working against you getting the revenue that you want?
You have asked a question on taxation, which let me handle that now. We have said this consistently, and they know. One of the problems we've gotten, and I say leadership, it is about personality and character. This is what you grew up knowing. Unfortunately, if you get to power and it's a wrong thing, you kill everyone. It becomes a disaster. Let me say this. Let me qualify. I don't know why the president came to the presidency thinking the only way to get money is overtaxation. Now, that's a very serious problem. And it can only be cured at the ballot because he will never stop. He believes in just get the guys and squeeze them out. Let me tell you, how do you allow a government to allow your opposition to go to the streets the first year? How will you work for the four? Look at what happened. Sufuria revolution. 2023, the first finance bill, he just went and said, tax everybody. And that's where the revolution started. Now, of course, the second one of the 2024 now, where now it was like, no, this is too much. And there was a revolt. I mean, when I had the chairman of finance committee go to a national TV and say that we are adding 5% of bread, on bread VAT, so that people don't get diabetes. Now I knew we are done. I was in that. I knew this is the time now we are getting done. And I don't think I want to be associated with this thing for going into the future, because I knew who can buy that. The moment you move from the people, you are done. So there is a very funny understanding here that we have to tax. Now listen, they pretended when Mbae came, a new minister said no taxation.
An expert.
No taxation expert. Yes, thank you so much for the clarification. They said no taxation. Remember? Or like this. Then the pretense is out now. Look at the kind of taxation they are doing. And they are targeting where the economy is supposed to be growing. How do you target M-Pesa transactions? How? People are going to right now, people are not going to agree again to do M-Pesa transactions. How do you target mobile phones? And what happens to this finance bill is about surveillance. Surveillance on your cash transactions completely. Yeah. And then KRI comes in. Because now you have to get your ID, your PIN number there, they come following you. The kind of money. So, Kenyans, we are not safe. Right now, I mean, the issue of the phone, the issue of the M-Pesa transactions. So you're asking a question. And the answer is very simple. What happens when you overtax? Then let me tell you, people resist. People begin taking corners, right? People want to run away from this, especially without commensurate service delivery. Now, I'll tell you this happened to 2002 because you were here. Kibaki comes in with a very simple slogan, kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea. And do you know, revenue short from 200 billion that Moi was doing to 800 billion. Just a simple statement of goodwill. And then people could see free education. People could see Thika Highway. So 27 billion loan, but people can see, wow, if I'm going to pay tax, to pay the loan for the highway, it's worth it. And of course, other infrastructure projects across the country, right? So the one of the things that will not be cured by this government is appetite for overtaxation and what I call fresh spending.
Can we tax citizenry to development status?
It's not. Let me tell you. Did you say overtax or tax?
Can we tax citizens to a point where we say we are developing?
I'll tell you this. Taxing Kenyans or paying tax is a very noble duty. And do you know, anybody else over 18 has no problem with paying taxes. The problem they have is that I'm paying taxes, but the same government is squeezing the few who are paying taxes to choking them. And instead of that is being lazy, instead of expanding the tax bracket, I want to insist on this as a political economist. The political economy says it's not just about numbers. The economy, the economists will come and give you numbers for you too, and these are the numbers, and that's what our team have been doing here. They come and give you figures. But as a political economist, you look at that and the connection with the politics. I must say today, paying taxes is noble. As a political economist. But then I will say, the thing line is, you must move with the people. Don't overtax the few. Increase the tax bracket. Let that woman who is not being paid 50 shillings pay the 50. Pay the 20. The boda person. And they are not opposed to. But they will come and tell you, we need a shade. We need better roads. I know there's a sub-county in Nakuru where they all agreed, all the boda that they don't go pay any tax to the county government. Because there are no roads. And they agreed. Until the roads are done, then their motorbikes are going to spare the spare parts. That's what they did in Girigiri sub-county. So what am I saying here? Please, expand it so that when I'm paying, I know I'm not squeezed. Now look at today's payslip. You are cut on housing levy. You are cut on SHA. Remember, you cannot cut my pay without my authority. You can't. You can't just go there. Oh, you went there, to talk to 200 members of parliament. They passed a law. Let them be taxed themselves. To come and tax me. Then you move to SHA, you increase NSSF, you go to housing levy, and all these things. But then when you go one by one, how is SHA helping me? None. By the way, as a matter of fact, SHA, the people who are telling you to use SHA, Dennis, it's so pitiful. The anybody who is called a state officer in Kenya, president, deputy, or the CSs, the PSs, they are not on SHA. They are on a private medical insurance by one of the top-notch private medical insurances in Kenya. Look at that. That alone, actually, if you went to a court of law, they would just say either use SHA or everybody goes to private.
Dr. Mbae, even as we look at some of these things, I think just for purposes of clarity, that even when we look at that question,